Hi, here's a simple way of playing Song for a Friend. E minor, C, D, I'll put the chords up on the screen, B minor if you want it, or just play D, E minor, C and D. E minor, B minor, C, G, G, C, D. And that repeats. The chorus is G, C, D, G, C, D again, E minor, B minor, C and G, and then finally G, C, D. So I'll play through the song with just strumming, and then I'll show you roughly the finger pattern that I use if you want to do something a bit more interesting or sophisticated, just different. So here goes. Learn the words to a song. I strongly recommend it. It makes it so much easier to know what chord change goes with what syllable. Drinking on E minor, C. By the, then fireside is D. Fireside, as I say, is B minor, or if you're not ready for it, play a D instead. Wind sings its song. Wind is E minor. Wind sings is C. Sings its song is D. Song. Whispering down the chimney, E minor. Whispering, B minor. Down the C. Chim, G. Knee. Embers hum along. Embers, or G. Hum, C. Along, D. Repeat all of that. Dream about companions, E minor. Dream up, C. About, come, D. Pan, B minor. Yearns. Dream of your friends, E minor. Dream. Dream, C. Of your friends, D. They will not forget you. They, E minor. They will, B minor. Not for, C. Get you, G. At your journey's end, G, C, D. G. At your journey's, C. End, D. Chorus. And the silence comes, silence, G. And the sigh, C. Lance, D. Comes, G, C, D, with the G. Passing, C. Of the song is D. But the fire is E minor. Still burns, B minor. Within, which is C. U, G. And the G, C, D. And the dream, G, will C carry on D. I normally play it myself with the guitar tuned down a semitone and a capo at 5, so that puts it in a C in B, but obviously use a capo to wherever you want, but I thought it was easier just to explain with no capo, which is why the singing is a little bit croaky and off, because it's not in the right key for me. You will notice that on the original I don't sing the same tune as I do these days. I keep changing it, and that's for keeping the freshness to it. And also there are some technical harmonic reasons why I think maybe the tune should be changed, because there's a few parallel fifths, and if you're going to use parallel fifths, I think there should be a series of them. It should be deliberate, and mine don't sound too deliberate. One sounds like I'm trying to avoid a parallel fifth and failing. It's when you have a note which lands on a harmony as part of the melody, is actually really a fifth, and if you embellish it with some escape notes going up, they don't disguise the fact that you've moved by a fifth. And so I needed at least another fifth, or another 2 or 3 or 4 to justify that kind of movement without making it sound so prominent. Anyway, that's for another day. Song in more sophisticated version, it basically uses a small figure used as a partial ostinato, so it's a repeating pattern. And it's those three notes: string 3 fret 2 A, string 4 fret 4 D, and a string 3 open G. And it happens quite a lot, so if you practice, I'm using index and middle for that myself. Then I add the bass notes using the right hand thumb, and the bass notes for the E minor is string 6. So for the E minor chord, instead of playing that, I play, and that's a great thing just to practice on its own. So I'll give you a chance to do that. I'll do it 4 times, 5 times, so you can join in. That was 4, wasn't it? Next chord, instead of playing a C, I finger the bass note C with my middle or second finger, playing with the thumb on string 5 there. And then I play the figure again. This time we're going to need to play it with leaving the second finger on. So we have a little motif with the bass note. 2 things going on. So at this point, you can hear a C and a G ringing on. I join these up in a minute. I'll show you that. Next chord, instead of D, I play this. I play the D here on string 5 fret 5, and I use my 4th or little finger on the left hand, and I use my thumb to play the A string or string 5, and then that figure comes in again. Still using fingers 1 and 3. The B minor, where you remember I suggested that you could use a D instead if you didn't want to tackle a B minor. It's not as interesting, but oh, by the way, little aside, if you wanted to do a D major 6, where you take your 3rd finger off and just leave 2 fingers on, exposing or opening up the string 2 open, that works pretty well. Drinking by the fire, it's too sweet in a way, but side. B minor is probably the hardest thing so far. So from the beginning, E minor, drinking by, fire side, there. When I get to the B minor, string 5 fret 2, bass note, 1st finger, you can see I'm going to need to use fingers 2 and 4 in order to play. But actually, I generally don't play the figure anymore. I adjust it very slightly, and I play, because I like the crunchy dissonance of that anyway. And I just found that sticking rigidly to throwing in can be a bit forced. That's how it feels for me. So first time and second time, that ornament, or that figure rather, 3 times in, it's the same. But the B minor I just play. So I generally use the 3rd finger for string 4 fret 4 because it's already there, or the previous chord there. Even if I take it off, the 3rd finger, to keep the figure clean, rather than ringing on. But I also do that as well, so it's entirely up to you. You can leave the 4th finger down, so you have an F sharp G clash, because that helps when we move to the next chord, which has also got the same semitone clash. Semitone is also known as a minor 2nd. From the beginning, E minor, C, sorry about that, D, B minor, E minor again, no changes there. C, I play the bass note C, and instead of playing, I play a little run that goes down. String 3, then string 4 fret 4, string 4 fret 2, and string 4 open. And play the bass note twice. nice little clash there. That dissonance is not as harsh or strong as that one, but it's still a dissonance. We have an open 4th string and a string 5 C, a bass note, so we've got a major second there. And then it resolves or clears up for the next chord because I go back up to a D. And again, I don't play because I want something more interesting. It feels like the melody needs to, this inside part, which is lying between the bass and the vocals. That's how it feels to me. I want something else happening, so I play this little run that goes down and up. So on the D, instead of playing just a D, I play bass note D, and then the run, leaving the little finger on, is the open G, 3rd string, string 4 fret 4, string 4 fret 2, string 4 open, and then I go back the way I came, fret 2, fret 4, open 3rd, and back down again, string 4 fret 4, string 4 fret 2, and finally string 4 open, or something like that. I probably want to change it, you know. Probably that. So I tuned the guitar back up from standard before I did the video. But for now, you notice the repeat of the bass note. Oh, that's better. So I play the second bass note D with the E here on string 4 fret 2. On the way back, we have da 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 da. It's a little wave, double wave. There it goes. Maybe there, maybe not. I don't want to give you too much for the song because that's loads, isn't it? The E minor C, the G. When I get to the, I said I wouldn't give you loads, but I need to do the whole thing really, don't I? They will not forget you. When I get to forget you, to the G, I start opening out the pattern on the guitar, so I don't stick with same argument as earlier. It feels like the music needs to move on there, and just playing that for the sake of it, just because I can, sounds repetitive, boring repetitive to me, not interesting repetitive. So whispering down, probably the same as the earlier B minor, down the chimney. Yeah, I'm probably going to broaden out here. So on chimney, on the C to G, play a straight normal standard C or a C add 9. So it's a C major with a D here, string 2 fret 3. And on the right hand, I'm going to simplify the pattern simply to 5 4 3 2 and back the way I came. 5 4 3 2 3 4. And for G, it's going to be the same idea, but with the thumb on the bass string. I'll put the chords on now. C, C add 9 there, G. The G for me in this song is a G5. It's a G with no third, so there's no B in it. It's simply, it is just rather string 6 fret 3 and string 2 fret 3 stopped, and then in between we have an open D and a G on strings 4 and 3. The pattern, as I said, was 6 4 3 2 and then back the way you came, 3 4. And again, whispering down the chimney, embers hum along. Embers, same pattern. C, same pattern as previous C. Embers hum along. And on the D, you could simply play, just play the D 4 3 2 1 and back the way you came twice. 4 3 2 1 2 3. Or you could do what I generally do, which is I play a D sus2. So I take my second finger off, the middle finger. Right hand pattern is still the same, 4 3 2 1 2 3. And then I play the same pattern, except this time the thumb moves to string 6, and I move my second finger across to the F sharp here on string 6 fret 2, and play the pattern as follows: 6 3 2 1 2 3. So putting that together with the D, we have would I do? Probably, yeah. If you're interested in adding little elaborations, instead of just playing on the D or with the middle finger off, you could, on the first time through, play as the pattern is rolling through, 4 3 2 1 2 3. When you hit string 1, you could do a pull off or slur from the F sharp at fret 2 and pluck the string or pull off to open up the E there. Like that. It's the kind of thing that I might have come up with if I was just playing the guitar part and somebody else was singing. I might elaborate the guitar a little bit, but as you know, as we all know, or you should if you don't, you have to be careful about sophistication. Adding things just because you can will often spoil the lines. Keep it as clean, as simple as you can, and only add when things are needed. Maybe they are needed. Probably I wouldn't do that every time. Probably maybe even just once. Chorus, just before it on the D, we got a long D. Just rewinding a little. They will not forget, they will not forget you. E minor, B, C, G. They will not forget you. Run into the chorus, G, C, D. At your journey's end, or at your journey's end. So that could just be at your journey's end. Could just be straight, which sounds good. At your journey's end. So very often I'll do a rundown on the bass. So instead of playing 4 bars of D, journey's end just before the chorus. Might hear me play, probably would hear me play something like that. So I'm basically playing a chord of D and I'm changing the bass line so it descends from a D to a C, string 5 fret 3, to a B, string 5 fret 2. Notice I'm leaving the third finger on that D there. Just go back and do that again. There's the D, there's the C. I'm allowing the open E. It's just natural that I've removed the second finger and there's E's there, and I'd like to have it. I could do this. I could accommodate by flattening the first finger to keep that F sharp going. We would sound like this. That's how you would do it if you wanted to play that descending bass line and keep the F sharp, but I don't particularly want it, I don't like it. Probably something like that. I don't like the I don't particularly like that, so I move the upper part so it onto the second string so the melody descends. Have a listen. Here it goes. Now I'm on the second string. And probably ending on a D there, but with no third, just playing strings 5 4 3 2 would sound really good. Lead into the chorus, I generally play, leaving that third finger D on still, I play this, string 6 and 3 open and string 2 fret 3. Then, this is an inversion of a D chord. We've still got a D here, but the fingering now is, notice how these fingers lean together. They shouldn't, but it's just something I've tried to work on over the years and I'm still not getting it right. But they land in the right place. So we have, if you want to know what chord that is, there's a few ways of describing it. So strictly speaking, I suppose you could just call it E minor 7. But to me, sounds like it's an implied C chord. Doesn't matter. Basically, the bass line is going to take us from this E here and lead us to the first bass note of the chorus, which is the chord G. So I'm playing E, F sharp, G. So this is just a lead into that. And I harmonise it to make it sound, well, just because I like the sound of it. And it stopped that bass note being lonely. So, and then in the chorus, G, C, D, you'll hear, which is the 3 notes of the melody, and the sigh. And I do that by playing, and there it is. I keep the chorus as simple as I can. I'm using that rolling pattern. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. That way and that way. Same thing for C, except for the bass note being different. D, the thumb's playing string 4, but the pattern is essentially the same. G, C, D, so just a repeat. But the fire still burns within you. E minor, brilliant. Open string 6, 3, 2 and 1. Fire still burns, the B minor on burns. I play it like this because I don't particularly like bar A's, and if I can avoid them I will, and I like the voicing anyway. So instead of doing a 5-string bar A, I use my first finger on string 5 fret 2, which is the bass note B, and then I play an A minor shape, for those who already know that shape. It's one tone or 2 frets higher. For those who don't, I'll break it down. It's string 2 fret 3, middle finger. Little finger is on string 3 fret 4. Third finger or ring finger is on string 4 fret 4. That little triad there is B minor on strings 2, 3 and 4. Add on the bass note B and play that with the thumb, and continue the simple pattern. And I mean simple in terms of its shape, not that it's simple to play, because nothing's simple until you can play it. So fire still burns, but I love the fact that this is a beautiful full chord, full voice chord with no bar A. And if you really wanted to, and it would be a good thing, you could add in the E, the open string 1. But that's for another day, really, isn't it? Because if you're doing that, you might want to change the top line melody. So just stick with I'm going to try it myself. Silence comes with the passing of the song, but the fire still burns within you, and the dream will carry on. Yeah, and I strongly recommend it. One last thing in the chorus, to do with the chorus that is, one last thing is you could just strum it, and you'll notice that very often, because I want to add some more energy into the end of the song, I'll stop finger picking for the final chorus or two. And the silence comes. I'm basically doing a 1, 2, 3 pa pa rhythm, but with a little bit of variation. If I don't do variation, comes with the passing of the song. Yeah, I guess that would be okay. I do tend to complicate things too much sometimes. I tend meant to do a combination of finger picking and strumming, but I'll leave that out for now. Back to the verse, to finish off on talking about the connection of the bass notes. Remember I said that the chords went E minor 9, C, D, and B minor. Well, the bass line can be joined up a little better, a little more smoothly than that. So instead of playing E, C, D, B, you can play this just before the C comes in. You can play a D and hammer on or slur the E here on fret 2. Think of Sweet Home Alabama. So you play the first note, the D, hammer or tap the finger down quickly and maintain the pressure to get a nice clean second note, or clear second note, clean and clear. So the bass line goes, and then I add in before going to the D, which is C, string 5 fret 3, and E, or string 4 fret 2. So the bass line now from the beginning is E, D, hammer on E, C, then a couple of joining notes, the C, E, before the D. Sorry. And before the B, I join up with a D, another D, the same D here at fret 5, and then a C at fret 3. So now the bass line, which you could practice on its own, goes as follows. E, D slur onto E, C, C, E, D, D, C, B. And then my probably most favourite thing for the piece for me is before I play the E, I play a G. And because this part of the guitar is very forgiving, it's quite easy to do slurs and taps with this finger. You can actually just play it with the left hand. So from the beginning, the bass line looks like this: E, D slur E, C, C, E, D, D again, followed by C, B, and then middle finger taps down a G. Put that together. Put the in with it and you get this. It was another version I was working on a while back. I think I will work on it a little more, because once the melody escapes, keeps rising rather than back down again, it's introducing a new idea and it's got to go somewhere. It's arriving here. So we've got a new thing happening. So it will be well worth my while working on that little line there. There's not too much I can do because I don't have enough fingers, but it could be maybe. So if I could play yeah. for another time. So there's a whole load. So if you manage to get past the first minute just doing the chords and you thought, oh, I'm not doing all that fingering, well done. And hope you get some benefit out of all of that. I forgot to say, do like and share and subscribe, particularly share. I'm getting some more songs finished, and they will be going up on Spotify over the next 2 months. So do keep a lookout for those. If you want to listen to any of my live stuff, you will find my own songs embedded in them here and there. So that at the moment is the only way of finding any of the original material. Or you could go to the shorts, and there's on my YouTube channel on John Air Guitar, there's quite a few bits and bobs there. But best thing is just message me. If you find a song of mine that you like, I can give you a simple version or a slightly complicated, more fancy or full version. It's entirely up to you, whatever you would like. And it'll be a wonderful thing to hear that somebody around the country or the world is singing one of these songs. And by the way, you may change the chords and the melody and the words, as long as you acknowledge that who wrote the original. You're very welcome to do whatever you like with it.